name is Valentin and I am a team member of KRWBBR Racing Team. So we have a short name of our team as KRWBBR. This is for the KRWBBR. In today's video, we will introduce you our team members, our drivers and our cars. Also, we'll tell you more about our plans for each driver, for each car for this season. So enjoy! While we are waiting for the beginning of the private track day on Autodrome Most that we will show you later in our next videos, I will tell you a few words about our team. We are KRWBBR team. We are a team of car enthusiasts who are based in Poland, in Warsaw. We are originally from different countries, but currently we're all based in Poland. So our goal for this season is to participate in two big championships. The first one is Trackmasters, and the second one is the race. Also, I'm sure that we'll have a couple more non-competition track days that will also show you. So on this channel you will be able to see how our team is growing, our cars, our process, emotions, feelings, competition, both inside the team and with another members. So hope you enjoy. So, I think it will be a popular question, why do we need a team if we are going for car competitions? Okay, there are actually two goals. The first goal is, if we are speaking about endurance championship, this is a team championship in which 3 or 4 drivers taking part, manager plus mechanics, and all the arrangements needs to be done by somebody. If we speak about time attack championship, so it is a lot more fun to compete with the guys who you know. So we have a lot of similar cars in one of the classes and we have really tight competition in it, and we compete mostly with each other, frankly, than with outside members. We have a lot of goals for this season, but I think the main one for us, and especially for me, is to gain experience, because most of our team members, they have this season as their first season in European racing. I have some experience of racing in championships in other countries, but in Europe for me this is the first one. Our first goal is to gain experience, and the second goal is for sure to be on the first places in our classes where we compete. So if we speak about Trackmasters, this is time attack. We have participants in 5 classes, and each of the participants do have a great chances to be not only on podium but on the first places in their class. For the race, it is very sad that we frankly have only from 1 to 3 teams within one class, and it's hard to compete when you do have only one team in your class. But still, our goal is to build a car that will be sustainable, that will be able to cope with loads, to cope with like 6-hour racing. And our goal is to build the team that will be able to participate in more, not serious, but the bigger championships with more efforts and so on. And in order to do this, we need this season of trainings, preparation, and like self-motivation. So our season not ends on participating in Trackmasters and the race. We also have plans to visit some other tracks, for example, Red Bull, Spa, Bilsterberg, Poznań, and I think multiple others. For example, right now I'm in Most. You will see the video about the Most like in later series. Also, we will show you the content that is related to the building of the cars, both for time attack and for endurance racing. We will show you some details of our internal kitchen. You will see a lot of emotions, feelings, team communication, and so on. On this channel, you will see a lot more content, a lot new content that will be related not only to racing, but also to the people, to the team, and of course to the cars. So the first competition we're taking part in is Trackmasters. Trackmasters is time attack. Time attack is the format of competition where the goal is to show best lap from all the laps the driver can pass. The rules for the Trackmasters are a bit more sophisticated. So we have 6 sessions per day. Each session is from 12 to 15 minutes. In each session, driver is able to do like from 3 to 5 hot laps, and the goal is to show 3 best times that the driver can possibly do. And in like general, how the places are then split in the classes, 3 best times from each driver are taken. Average from these 3 is taken, and who has the best average from 3 top results has best results in the class. Depending on the car, drivers should select his own strategy how he can achieve the best results. For example, previously I had a very heavy BMW M4 competition, and even on track pads and on track discs with additional cooling for the braking, I had maximum 2 hot laps in a row. Also, I need to take into account that, for example, tires for this heavy M4 are not withstanding more than 3, maximum 4 laps per session, and they need really extensive time to cool down. So for me, tactics on M4 would be to have 1 warm-up, 1 or 2 hot laps, then 1 cool down and 1 more hot lap, and that's it for me for the session. Right now I do have Cayman. This Cayman, when the weather outside is below 25, for sure can withstand 5 hot laps in a row. From engine temperature perspective, from brakes perspective, from tires perspective, everything is good, so I can race all 5 laps. Also, you need to take into account that you are not alone on the track. You need to manage the traffic and the way how you build the handicap for yourself to have a clean lap, because usually it is very sad when you do have very fast first part of a lap and on some of the last turns you get into traffic. This is very disappointing, and you also need to take account this thing, because there are a lot of cars. We frankly have nearly 200 participants, if I'm not mistaken. The time really depends on not only on the driver but on the car as well. And in order to make this competition more fruitful, and in order to bring the regulations to the championship, there are different classes. All classes are split to 2 big groups. The first one is street and the second one is pro. If you are racing using slicks, or you have a weight reduction that is more than 50 kilo, or you are using the cage inside your car, you are in the pro class. If you have plus minus the stock car with weight reduction less than 50 kilo, you are allowed to a street class using semi-slicks. Then inside pro and street classes, the cars are also separated by the power to weight ratio. So there is a table with coefficients, and each driver should calculate the coefficient of his car based on the weight and the power and the types of tires that the driver is using. And because of that, the cars are split between the classes. This is frankly a very interesting competition, because, for example, the class S3, where I do take part, has multiple cars that are able to drive with this class and that are very different from their ideology, but have plus minus the same results and plus minus the same times. And also that is even more interesting, that, for example, if you're driving Cayman, that is mid-engine car, or for example BMW M2, which are in the same classes, you should follow different racing lines. You should have different strategies, because some of the cars are more heavy and the brakes are less capable, and somebody are more capable, and so on. And it becomes really interesting to compete with. The second type of championship that we do have this year is the race. The race, it is 6-hour endurance racing. The main goal of the endurance race is to cover as much distance as possible during 6 hours. There are some regulations. For example, drivers need to be changed not longer than 1.5 hours. then each driver should have a rest for at least 30 minutes between his stints and so on. So there are like multiple these regulations, and each team should develop their own tactics, how they will perform the driver changes, like the pit stop with driver changes, how they will manage to have like a single set of pads for the whole race, when they need to change tires, or maybe they should slow down a bit to somehow reduce the consumption of these tires, and all of that things are related to tactics. So each team selects their own tactic to be on podium, to be the first to cover like as long distance as possible. Also, the thing that is very important here is refueling. So each car has different size of the gas tank and different fuel consumption, and it is very important to know your consumption, know for how long the fuel tank is allowing you to be on the track, and to develop the strategy that will allow you to use your time more efficient. The type of competition is very interesting. You do not have a chance to relax and to lose patience. In time attack, you need to show 3 best laps, and if you have shown them in the first session, you're done for the day. It makes no sense to compete because you have already completed the perfect laps. But in endurance, it is very important to always be focused and always stay tuned to what is in progress. It is very, very interesting on one hand, but on the other, the race is having only its first year this year, and there are not so many participants, and that is frankly very, very sad. For example, we already had like 2 races. In the first race, there were 5, I think, competitors in our class, and on the second race there were only 1 like team presented in this class, and that was our team. And in this case, it is not very interesting to compete since there are not a lot of teams, but we hope that next sessions, next days, we'll have a lot more competitors to compete with. If not, we already have not couple, but 2 championships in Europe that we consider participating in. So please stay tuned. This endurance racing is very interesting. It is full of emotions. It is full of team collaboration when the people are involved together with the car that can break sometimes. It is very interesting. Sadly, last time when we filmed on the racetrack, there was an issue with our microphone. You can see this small black thing here. This is for the voice recording, and sadly it was disabled. Like, we have a legend inside our team. If I touch something, and that time I put it myself here, that breaks. So sadly, I will not touch it anymore, I promise. I'm going to tell you a couple words about our cars and about our teammates. The first car to tell you about is our E36. This is BMW, very old one. I think it is even from the previous century. Frankly, I do not know when it was in production. This is absolutely gorgeous car. It has a cage inside. It is a cage type J. It is able to run on slicks. It has a lot of reinforcements. It has really, really great body for E36. It has BC Racing coilovers with 2-way adjustments. It has height adjustment. It has some adjusted, I don't know how they're called. I think they're roll bars. We have adjusted arms and many other things, and that car is really, really lovely to ride. The weight of this one is a bit more than 1 ton. I think it's nearly 1 ton and 100 kilo. This car we use in our day race, and I have used it once. It was in P7 class, and even for me riding this car for the first time, I managed to be on the third place in my P7 class, and altogether in that race we were on the second. And hope that the next times we will be using this R36 and we will have better results. The next car to tell you about is our Mazda MX-5. The driver is Alexei. This Mazda, I think it is the Street 6 class killer. He has one of the most interesting cars in this class. Alexei has very rich experience on like our amateur level, and he is constantly taking first places in his class. So this is the really lovely, lightweight. You need to have a lot of skill and a lot of technique to drive quickly. Then we do have a class where we have, I think, 5 cars, if I'm not mistaken. This is class S3. Here we do have one M4 gray one. The driver is Alexander. This car is built especially for this year. He has Moton suspension. He has increased power. Frankly, I do not know the numbers, but the power is lovely in this one. It has built interior for the track and some slight weight reduction. Then the next car that we have is two Caimans GT4. Those Caimans do have a more package in both, and that is really interesting competition since the pilots do have plus minus the same experience, like in time wise. One driver is using the car for the second year already, or even the third year, and another driver is using the car for the third time. But it is really interesting competition, and hope that it will be like lovely competition between us. Then we do have one M2 competition. It is also an S3 class. Last two track days, it was a competition between two Caimans and this M4, and the results always were Caiman yellow, Caiman white, and M2. But frankly, from what I do see, the driver of BMW M2 is one of the most skilled between us, and this makes competition even more interesting since Caimans have a bit of they are a bit more ready for the track, but the M2 driver is a lot more ready than we. So this is very interesting competition, and hope that during this season we will have these three places shared between us. Then the next class we are presented in is S2 class. We have a really lovely Toyota Supra here. This Supra is built for the track. It has a really extensive aero, and this aero not some like shit box from AliExpress. This is a really great aero that was tested in AeroTube, and that produces like the certain amount of downforce. Frankly, I do not know much details about this. If we have the separate video about this Supra, we will tell you more. This one also has a built engine, built cooling, it has suspension, it has interior, so almost the whole car is rebuilt for the track. The next car, I even do not know which class it will be, but it will be some very interesting class. I think P1 maybe. It is still in production. It is, I think, the GT3 killer even. Maybe not killer, but competitor. And about GT3, I mean not like the street Porsche GT3, I mean real GT3 class cars. It has a wide body, it has as much carbon parts as even possible. This is BMW M4, and the weight of this M4 should be, if I'm not mistaken, and if everything goes okay, near 1400 kilo. This is very lightweight for this body. I think the guys who are like knowing the weights, it is really lightweight, and it has still the same potential as average G82 for power tuning. LSD on the rear axle, it runs slicks. It has a full cage, full FII cage. That would be awesome thing. We hope that it will be ready pretty soon, and we will definitely have the video about this one. The driver of this car has rich experience participating in Trackmasters. Previously he drove BMW E92 and currently he is building this M4, and he will participate in the championship with this M4. So this is Yevgeny. We will definitely have some words from him about the car. I think the last car from our team that we are ready to mention right now, it is BMW G82. It runs in P4 class. In Hungary, this car was on the first place in his class. And, this car had Moton suspension, like three-way, but currently it deserves like a separate story. Small shit happened to the car, and it will be rebuilt, and I hope that we'll have one more Phoenix in our team that will just stay out of ash. So we do plan to make bigger, like more detailed introductions of our old cars. We will film the separate videos about them. I'm not sure that we'll be able to show you all of them, because there are some like secret things inside these cars that the drivers do not always want to show, but hope that we'll have most of them shown in details. So that is it for today. More detailed meet and greet with our another drivers and cars you will see in the next videos on our channel. For now, please subscribe to our Instagram. The links will be somewhere here. In Instagram, you will find a lot more live content. We always post reels, we post stories from our events, and in next couple months we'll have a very tight schedule of different events, both for Trackmasters, the race, and not competition events. So please stay tuned, subscribe to our YouTube, to our Instagram, and hope to see you again.